Al Sharpton's been fighting civil rights, whatever, for how long? Seems like they got the same rallying cries, same protest chants, same everything. Is there an actual end game to DEI, or is it something that we just continue to do?
Oh my God.
So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Al Sharpton and his boycott. Instead of a boycott, his boycott. And I actually did a video on this yesterday. I was so excited. Like when I saw it, I was like, nah, I'm recording this right now. But I wanted to cover it with y'all as well. And listen to this, because I think it's important for us to pay attention to what a lot of our leaders are pushing. A lot of the agendas, a lot of the campaigns, a lot of the things that these so-called leaders that we have, especially when it comes to the Black community, pay attention to what they're pushing it and then dig a little deeper. We have to get beyond the surface level emotional aspect of all these things and actually look at the results of these things. So let me share the screen. You're going to see a TMZ interview. They're going to ask Reverend Al Sharpton, the Reverend, a few different questions, and then hopefully you guys will respond. You know I'm going to respond. So let's get it going.
Our position has been, we announced on Martin Luther King holiday in a big rally we had in Washington, that we're going to, in 90 days, release a boycott list all over the country. But in the interim, we're going to do a boycott. We're going to go and support those that support diversity. And you must remember, these DEI programs are not only for Blacks, it's for LGBTQ, it's for disabled, it's for veterans. So our position is very simple. If you do not want to commit that you will have diversity in your workforce, diversity on your board, diversity on your C-suite, then why would you want to have diversity among your consumers?
I gotta stop that right there real quick. He's right. Diversity, equity, inclusion is not just about Black people. And I think we watched a video on that with the lady. She was talking about how Black people are pretty much number 7 in line when it comes to benefiting from DEI programs. I believe white women were first, and then it's what is it? I think Asians are in there. I think it's people with disabilities. I think it's LGBTQ. Then there's a couple other groups. I think even they were saying, I don't even know how this works or how this makes sense, but they were even saying like white men benefit. I don't know how that happens, but when I want y'all to pay attention to what Al Sharpton just said. He's talking about diversity. I believe he said amongst their owners, and then he said amongst their boards or shareholders. Keep that in the back of your mind as we're going through this.
Yeah, there's some in the Black and brown community that say if you boycott stores that sell our products, that actually hurts us.
Tabitha Brown in particular said this.
But I think that is like saying in segregation time that if you fight for desegregation, I'm going to lose my job that is unfairly paid and unfairly done.
And let me interrupt real quick, Al. So what the lady, what their question was, is basically complaining about, let's say Target got rid of their DEI programs, but a Black-owned business has, like, let's say Honey Pot. Honey Pot is in Target. So therefore, don't ask me how I know. I just know. Honey Pot is in Target. So therefore, Honey Pot would say like, yo, you're boycotting Target, so you're kind of hurting our business as well. I don't really have as much sympathy for that, because you can sell your product online. It is what it is. You'll figure it out. But when it does come to what he just brought up, as far as with segregation, I'd like us to maybe think about it from a different point of view. And the people that watch the show all the time, you know where I'm going with this. You know exactly where I'm going with this. You're boycotting. And matter of fact, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to listen to the rest of what he has to say.
We want Black businesses to prosper, but we don't want them to prosper at the expense of dealing with the larger issue. We should take those companies and support them, put them online. We'd rally for them. We'd have buyouts with them. They should be calling us rather than trying to defend people who may give them shelf space, but will not guarantee that for the community. So there's a way to make both things happen at the same time. If Mr. Trump and his supporters can tell you you cannot make sure that you have a diversified workforce, then they can't make a law to make us shop and spend our money where we're not guaranteed that there's going to be fairness. Diversity programs started because there was bias against those communities. Now you're going to tell me when we're trying to correct the bias that you're going to penalize the companies? No, I don't think so.
All right, so there's not much there that I agree with him when it comes to that. I just don't see DEI like that. I just don't think that he's talking about when it started. Well, is there ever an endpoint to this? Let me ask y'all this. What's the endpoint? Al Sharpton has been fighting civil rights, whatever, for how long? Seems like they got the same rallying cries, same protest chants, same everything. Is there an actual end game to DEI, or is it something that we just continue to do? Are we ever going to take the training wheels off, or do we just have to leave them on? I don't know, but let me show y'all exactly what happened and who he decided to visit, because they did this boycott and they actually visited one of your favorite stores. So I guess Costco is there. They decided to keep their DEI. I actually have a video on that. Actually, let's take a look at why Costco. Matter of fact, we're not even going to take a look at that. We're just going to go to the other video because I don't want to take too much time on this. We're going to go to the other video that shows Reverend Al leading his boycott I believe they're in New York City. All right, so let's take a look at this, and I'm going to kind of talk over it. There's nobody speaking right now, but as you can see, they're just getting ready to go on the bus. They're giving out some T-shirts so everybody can look uniform. And I believe that they gave everybody on the bus a $25 gift certificate to spend at Costco. So you'll see them organizing. And remember, I said, what did I say to keep in mind? I said, keep in the back of your mind what he said about diversity in owners and diversity in your board. Keep that in mind as we take a look at this. Matter of fact, I'm about to look up something for you guys. Costco ownership. Let's look at who actually owns Costco. All right, so I'm just looking at it. Vanguard and BlackRock. Vanguard owns 9.4%. BlackRock owns 7.56%. They have a State Street Corporation. We should one day, people should do some research on BlackRock, the things that they own, the agendas that they get behind, and it may make you look at it a little bit differently than your current thoughts on it. I don't know what your current thoughts are on it, but may make you look at it a little bit different. So let's get to fast forwarding real quick. A bit of them at Costco, and I believe Al Sharpton is going to give some words. He's going to get us all excited and encouraged.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion in the private sector.
So we said diversity, equity, and inclusion in the private sector. All right, so let me pause this for a second. Let me pause this for a second, and I want to share the screen with you guys and show you something. We're going to take a look at Costco's board of directors. We're going to take a look at Costco's board of directors. You can see it right on the screen. Matter of fact, let me get out the way, make them a little bigger. White guy, white woman. We got a black guy. So this is their board. Got a black guy so far, white woman, white guy, white guy, white woman, white guy, white guy, white guy, white woman. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in total, one black guy. Where's all the black women at? Where's the Latinas? Where's the Latinos? Where's the real diversity? And this is what I mean when I say we hustle backwards with all of this DEI stuff. We get so caught up emotionally that we don't even understand that we are hustling backwards. Does that look like a diverse group to you? Does this look like a representation of America or the people that shop at Costco? Al Sharpton is doing all this, going to Costco, $25 gift certificates. They rented out a bus. They rented out a bus. Hold on, let me get them off the screen real quick. They rented out a bus. So I don't know how much that cost. They got the camera crew. They got all this stuff. Al Sharpton, why didn't you find a black supermarket to go to? Why didn't you find a black supermarket to go to? And a question that a lot of y'all may have is, well, are there any black supermarkets? I don't know if I said it on the last show, but when I talk about diversity, or when I think about diversity, diversity to me is not begging white-owned or any other type of owned business to support or to hire black people. That's not diversity, equity, inclusion. That's just not how I see it. Now, diversity of ownership, and based on what Uncle Al said, we're not talking about, we're talking diversity of ownership, the board, all these areas, right? So when you have this diversity of ownership, what does it do? Now you're able to shop at stores. Now you actually can have your dollar circulate in the community because there are black grocery stores. There are black businesses. There is a black doctor. There are black, but when your entire purpose is to beg white businesses and try to bully them into hiring black people, then all you're ever going to get are white-owned companies. Like I said, what's the end game? The only end game that I see is black people waking up and realizing, and maybe using it as a rallying cry, as I've told y'all before, when somebody denies you, if you feel that nobody's hiring you, or they deny you a job because of the color of your skin, use that as a rallying cry. That should show you that, hey, we have a problem. We have a problem that we do not have. Why don't we have a black law firm that we'd be able to work for? Why don't we have a black grocery store that we can work for? Why don't we have a black Walmart, a black super center like that? The reason why is because we'd all have fallen in love with this DEI victimhood that encourages us to just try to work for jobs rather than to actually have our own and to develop our own supermarkets, develop our own businesses like we had before segregation. This is the same argument. Al Sharpton is jumping out the window trying to create content. That's all he's trying to do. He's not trying to actually fix a problem. And this is what I see with a lot of our older activists, whatever you want to call them, leaders. They're so emotionally connected to things that were going on in the 60s. They don't even realize, like, bro, you're over here going to Costco. Their board is not diverse. Oh, yeah, they'll keep DEI programs maybe because it looks good. Who knows the reason why? They're not doing it because they just feel that black people are so amazing. If they did, then maybe they would have more black people in their board of directors. Maybe they would have one black woman. You can't turn. I'm so surprised that there's a black man instead of a black woman, to be totally honest, on their board. There's not a lot of businesses that you can go to where black people are not going to raise hell if there's not a black woman somewhere represented in that C-suite or on that board. I'm just being real. So another example of us just hustling backwards, in my opinion. I'm just going to leave it there. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real